Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and Battlefield 6, both of these games have officially been confirmed right now, and there is a lot of interesting stuff that's coming up for the FPS genre. And I'm not even kidding when I'm saying this, because for a very long time now, it seems like Call of Duty and Battlefield have never really had some face-off, because, you know, DICE kind of just gave up on Battlefield after the biggest flop of Battlefield 2042, which was completely unexpected, by the way. And it just seems like, you know, DICE completely gave up and they just decided to go ahead and launch whatever, you know, post-launch content that they already had planned. But this year, it just seems like, you know, we're finally back into the Call of Duty versus Battlefield phase. And there's always been this very toxic battle between the Call of Duty community and the Battlefield community. But now it seems like things are finally going to be changing, because DICE has officially announced the next Battlefield game. And Call of Duty has also announced Call of Duty Black Ops 6. So it's going to be a very interesting year. Now, this information was confirmed by Treyarch Studios officially on their Twitter page, where they said that Black Ops 6 is officially confirmed. Now, tune in on Xbox Game Show on June 9th at 10 a.m. Pacific time to see what we have been cooking with Raven Software. Now, this is basically the tease that they've shown so far. Just take a look at this. It just gives me the vibe of Call of Duty Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3. It's a mixture of both of these games, and you know, both the games had like incredible multiplayer game modes, and I'm really curious to see what they're working on with Black Ops 6. Now, what's very interesting about this Call of Duty in particular, that the entire community kind of have like really high hopes with Call of Duty once again, is because this Call of Duty, which is Black Ops 6, has been in development for 4 years. And the last time Activision actually took this long in order to develop a Call of Duty game was probably 3 years, which is for Black Ops 3. And that turned out to be great when it comes to multiplayer. And of course, keeping aside all of those jumping mechanics and all that stuff, but still, multiplayer was really, really fun nonetheless. But right now, they've taken 4 years, and it seems like Call of Duty Black Ops 6 game designers have been playtesting the game ever since the past 2 years. So this game has already been in development and it's complete, and they've been playtesting it for 2 years, which kind of gives a lot of confidence to gamers out there, especially for Call of Duty fans who've been waiting for this game. Because, you know, 2 years is a lot of time in order to test out a game like Call of Duty. Now, all the things might seem very much in favor of Call of Duty this year, but then there is something that Activision really screwed up this year, because this image actually got leaked, which is apparently a pre-order information from GameStop, which says that Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is going to be available on Xbox Series X as well as PlayStation 5. But then there's one thing that's really disappointing, which is the PS4 version, man. Now, I honestly don't know why, you know, Treyarch would even try to release this game on the last-gen consoles. Like, PS4 is already old now. Like, most of the upcoming games are moving exclusively for the next-gen consoles, and they're still stuck with the PS4. This just makes me wonder how bad the graphics of the game is still going to be and how outdated engines are. And I just guess that, you know, they're going to be reusing the same engine and the graphics and the gameplay, and everything is just going to look very much recycled from the previous Call of Duty games. Where the biggest issue in Call of Duty is that usually the games were, you know, fast-paced games, and people just absolutely loved doing that no-scope and, you know, like super fast-paced and being aware of the red dots on the minimap, and, you know, it just made the game feel much more fun, and you had to pay more attention to the minimap as well as the game, so you can't really sit there and camp in a corner. And it kind of just changed as soon as, you know, Call of Duty moved on to Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which kind of brought in this whole new engine, which kind of changed the entire facing of the game and became more slow-paced and kind of just encouraged more camping rather than just having better skills and playing the game faster. So that's probably where Call of Duty had one of the biggest downfalls, and then came the skill-based matchmaking and all that stuff. So I really hope that, you know, this Black Ops game is not the same. And on the other hand, we have a new Battlefield game which is coming up, where the CEO of EA Games has already announced that he's already playing the game right now with the developers, and he just absolutely fell in love with how good the live service this game is going to turn into. And the thing that he did not really mention is that the game is really good or not, or maybe he's having fun or whatever. The one thing that he mentioned is that it's a good live service game, so that kind of just concerned a lot of fans. But I would say that, you know, most of the upcoming, you know, multiplayer games usually tend to be live service, and eventually that's not really a bad thing that you guys should, you know, stay back and worry about when it comes to multiplayer games, because most of the games are live service, and live service basically means that they're going to be having continued support for this game in particular. So after the game launches, you're still going to be getting more DLCs, new maps, new weapons, and all that stuff. So in order to do that, you know, the devs just keep selling skins and microtransaction items, and hopefully it's not going to be, you know, pay to win items. And one of the biggest reasons when it comes to the downfall of Call of Duty is because, they've been focusing too much on Warzone and all of the, battle royale game modes rather than focusing on the actual Call of Duty. And that's one of the reasons why, recent Call of Duties have never been successful, because they just released the game just for the sake of making a new pack that they could just sell inside of Call of Duty Warzone. And hopefully, for the love of God, I really, really hope they don't screw up Black Ops 6 as being one of the games that they just made just to sell new packs into Warzone. And from all the things that we can see, the game is going to be releasing on the PS4 version, which means that most probably they're going to be using the same engine in which Warzone is running on. So the reason why they might be releasing this game could also be that they're just releasing it so that they can sell new packs that will be introduced inside of Warzone, where players who own Black Ops 6 are going to be the only ones that will exclusively get access to some of those packs that are going to be available inside of Warzone. So things like this is exactly what ruined Call of Duty, and I really hope they don't do this mistake with this one and focus more towards that one particular game and keep Warzone completely out from the mainline Call of Duty games. I strongly believe that this could actually go a very long way for the success of Call of Duty. Now, all of this kind of just gives me a little bit of hope because, both Call of Duty and Battlefield are getting announced this year, and June 9th is going to be the time during the Summer Game Fest. Activision has made the official announcement, and they are officially going to be revealing their next Call of Duty Black Ops 6 game, and the CEO is already enjoying the game, which means that there could possibly be another announcement for the new Battlefield game as well. Now, a few people in the Battlefield community have been stating that, the next Battlefield game could not be coming out until 2025. And a huge thanks to EA CEO, he finally came out and gave some information. The Battlefield game is complete and it's finally a good live service game. So it kind of just gives me more hopes that, this year's Battlefield, hopefully it's as good as what Battlefield 1 was, because I really had absolute blast in that game, and I would just love to have a game very similar to that one. And some of the rumors for Battlefield have also lately been that the game is going to be set in the Vietnam Wars era. So that's a really great timeline to, set a Battlefield game, I guess. I don't think there's ever been any Battlefield game that has been set particularly in this era where there was a war in Vietnam. So I guess it's a really good timeline if DICE does decide to go ahead and choose this one. And there's also a lot of different games that's coming up, which is actually free to play. And the one that you're watching right now as a gameplay, which I'm posting on this video, is from the Ubisoft Call of Duty game, which is called the X-Defiant, which is a free to play game, by the way. And I've been playing this game for the past 2 days, and I'm absolutely having a blast. It's a really good game. And the reason why this game has been getting a lot of backlash is because, people have been comparing it with Call of Duty and Battlefield. And that's probably why, people want to hate on this game. But honestly speaking, X-Defiant is really a good game, and it's designed very well. It has really good operators and specialist abilities. And for people who really love the fast-paced Call of Duty versions, I think X-Defiant is really going to be a game that you guys will enjoy. Now, I don't know how many of you guys know this, but there's also another free-to-play game that's coming out, which is called Delta Force Hawk Ops, which is a free-to-play multiplayer as well as single-player game. The gameplay that you guys are watching right now is from the reveal gameplay trailer that the devs have shared. They haven't really given more information, and as far as what we see, it kind of seems like a mixture of Call of Duty as well as Battlefield and a bunch of different games. Now, there are different loadouts in this game, from medic, assault, support, and sniper, and it's something that a lot of people that really missed things in Battlefield game could actually enjoy, I guess. And I'm really, really excited for this game. And it's also said that this game is going to be free to play, so that just makes everything interesting because, even if you don't like it, you're not really going to be paying money for that game. So it just seems like, the devs are really focusing on developing this game for a long run, and that's probably why they're just releasing this game as a free-to-play title, because they might be having plans like what Fortnite did in terms of bringing this Battlefield genre and making it free-to-play while PUBG was just blowing off, So they kind of just took that thing and made their own authentic thing, and I really think that Delta Force is trying to do the very same thing here. And as far as what I can see from the graphics, the gameplays, and the environment and the destruction levels, everything just looks absolutely fantastic, and it just screams for me to go ahead and try this game as soon as possible. And the devs have said that the game is going to be releasing this year, so I'm really curious and excited for this game. It's going to be a very huge competition, of course, for Battlefield as well as for Call of Duty and most of the upcoming FPS genre games, especially since it's a free-to-play title. So I'm kind of just very excited at this point for all the FPS games that's coming out this year. So I would honestly love to hear out from you guys. What do you personally think about all the things that's going on with the FPS genre? Leave all of your thoughts down below in the comments. I would love to go ahead and reply and read to as many comments as I possibly can. Now, if you guys want want to stay updated with all the latest gaming information, news, updates, and all that stuff, then make sure to go ahead and subscribe. It's absolutely free of cost on YouTube to subscribe. And at the same time, you guys are going to stay updated with all the latest information about upcoming games. Now, with that being said, if you guys are excited for the new Battlefield or Call of Duty or even Delta Force, which is a free-to-play massive game that's coming out, drop a big fat like on this video. It really does help out the channel as well as me as a creator, because your support really means a lot to me. Now, with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Until then, take it easy, fams, and goodbye.